Today's adventures will take us to the Willow Grove Park Mall in Willow Grove, Pennsylvania. The Willow Grove Park Mall. This was my very first time coming here, and I gotta say, I like this place. This mall is pretty nice. I like the aesthetics in here, and yeah, this is pretty cool. This mall has been open for well over 40 years. We'll go over the history of this mall real quick. So this mall opened on the site of the former Willow Grove amusement park, which was an old amusement park that closed in the 1970s. 1978, Federated Department Stores and the Rubin organization had plans to build the mall here, and it opened up in the summer of 1982 with the original anchors Bloomingdale's, B. Altman, and a few months later, Abraham and Strauss, which opened their second Pennsylvania store here. A year after they opened their first store in King of Prussia, which is gonna be my next stop next month doing a vlog. And the anchor changes, and the only original anchor here is Bloomingdale's. Shocking, right? No J.C. Penney. But hold on, J.C. Penney does come up in the conversation. Keep listening for the mall history. So in 1986, B. Altman closed and Sears came in. Sears lasted until 2023 or 2022. I don't remember. Somebody correct me in the comments. I think it was 2022. It reduced down to one floor, and then Primark took over the two top floors of the former Sears here at Willow Grove. A&S closed its second Pennsylvania store in 1987 and became a Strawbridge and Clothier, which moved over from a smaller location in Jenkintown and lasted until 2006. Boscov's was supposed to move in here around that time, but by then, Boscov's was going through a lot of bankruptcy, and they never planned on opening here, which is a shame because now Boscov's is like that store to go to at the mall nowadays. So it did open up as a JCPenney in 2011. Didn't last here too long. It closed up in 2017. And then the top level of what was the former A&S and Strawbridge's became Nordstrom Rack, Yard House, and the Cheesecake Factory. And right there, walking to my left, that is Macy's, which opened here in 2001. That was the mall's fourth anchor. When they built this mall, they weren't planning to do 4 anchors. That's why they settled on 3. It felt 4 was kind of big for the property, but they went and did it anyways. So, as I said, this mall is huge. It doesn't look. I mean, walking distance is kind of short, but this mall is big. It's a 3-level mall, and this mall kind of reminds me of Bridgewater Commons in New Jersey. Except Bridgewater Commons has that section of the mall which is split up into 2 floors, from the center court to Bloomingdale's. This mall has all 3 floors, and it's pretty cool in here. They got a carousel, You can, yeah, this is like kind of like what the old amusement park was like. They got some old stuff from that era hanging up all over the mall. They got like little horse and carriages, clocks. It's a pretty cool aesthetic in here, and it's very unique for this shopping center. Yeah, I really like this place. I really do. I mean, I wish it wasn't such a distance from home. I would go here a lot. You know, it took me about an hour and some change to get here because I took the long ass way. And looking ahead there, that's Primark. That was what used to be Sears here, and that came along, I guess, in the last decade or so. And this is what I'm talking about, right? When you get here, you see all these little horses. I think that's pretty cool. It definitely adds character to this mall. So as I kept walking, I'm walking now towards what used to be A&S and Strawbridges and J.C. Penney. This is where Nordstrom Rack and Yard House and the Cheesecake Factory is. This is on the very top level only. The last two levels are a place called Tilted 10. It's kind of like a Round 1 or Dave and Buster's kind of place. You know, it's an arcade. You can drink beer. You can, stuff like that. I think it has a bowling alley in it. I didn't really do a walkthrough inside of it because I just wanted to do this walk. I would like to eat and get going because I knew when I get back to New Jersey, I had to run some errands. So, yeah, it is what it is. But, yeah, this is what, and you're going to see this when I go to King of Prussia next month. Because they did the same thing kind of with the A&S and Strawbridge's store there. They turned it into like a mall area, which is cool. And this is what the malls in Jersey should be doing if they want to survive. Instead of tearing them down, because it sucks. It sucks that they tear them down for no fucking reason. But I mean, I get it. But yeah, this is actually a good addition, and it's a new look. So you think this once had 3 department store chains in the span of like 40 years here, 40 plus years here, and they converted into that. That's pretty cool. So right now I'm about to go down to the second level, being that some of the escalators weren't working here today. So I decided to go on the elevator right in front of Nordstrom Rack and show you a little bit of what Tilted 10 looks like. It's going to be right in the front when I get to the second level on the elevator. So that is the second level, and that is Tilted 10. Yeah, it's definitely a Round 1 kind of place, just not Japanese. But it's pretty cool though. I like it. Yeah, maybe you should put some in some malls here in Jersey. I mean, so far everything is Round One or Dave and Buster's. It'd be different if they actually did open one in New Jersey somewhere. So the mall stores here are pretty average. You know, it's usually the usual stores that you see at every other mall. I didn't really see too many upscale kind of stores like you would see, say, I would say like Short Hills or King of Prussia. And right there, where that Dunkin' is, that's where the water fountain used to be. There used to be a water fountain here. They took it out, and they got no all these Hot Wheel vending machines. If you saw my Woodbridge Center revisit vlog, they had one, and the Hot Wheel selection sucks. Put some good Hot Wheels. I'll definitely buy one out of the vending machine. Or else I'm gonna go to like a supermarket and find the good ones. I think I said the quiet part out too loud. So they do have an Apple store here, and it was freaking packed. So that's definitely not a place I want to go. But as I said, this mall is doing very well. This mall is owned by Priet, and recently I heard they are selling some parts of the mall off. I guess some percentage of the mall. And this is Priet's second most successful mall behind Cherry Hill, which I visited last year on Black Friday. You saw how that place was. It was freaking packed. Like, when it took me 40 minutes to get out just to get to the highway, that's how bad. That's how freaking bad it was. Yeah, but the foot traffic here today was pretty decent, even though it was kind of a rainy, crappy day driving here to Pennsylvania. I mean, later on, the sun did come out, and then right there, that's a rare vacancy, some place called Splash. Never heard of it. I don't know what kind of store it was. Maybe it was like a swimsuit kind of place. Never heard of it. Yeah, but that's like the rare vacancy they got here. There's a couple. Like I said, there's a couple of like vacancies, but nothing crazy. That's what I said. This mall's doing well, but as the future of this mall is, with Priet selling some of its percentage of this mall, I wonder who will pick it up. I mean, maybe Simon, maybe Macerich, which owns Freehold in Deptford. Somebody's gonna own it. This is definitely not a Namdar Kohan thing. Yeah, this mall is doing well above expectations. So this mall will be around for some time here in the Philly area. Cause looking at the other ones outside of King of Prussia, there's a few smaller ones, and they're all failing. Even Plymouth Meeting, which is another Priet property, and they're not doing too well either. I want to document that one, but I mean, hopefully I can get to it before they actually do get rid of it for good, because I just read this week that they're definitely going to revitalize the whole property. I think they're keeping like the Boscovs and whatever took over the Macy's there. And speaking of Macy's, that's the first level right there. And I guess this is like the center court here. I guess they had some kind of like sports card collectible show. I've seen like all these cards and jerseys. I mean, in my younger days, I used to collect cards, and I don't know, I stopped. I mean, collecting cards is cool, but I don't know. For some reason, I stopped because I always wonder how much my cards are worth, and a lot of it ain't worth jack shit. Some older cards I have, depending on the player, I mean, or some kind of accomplishment they did, and the card ain't worth nothing. So I'll hold on to them. Like I said, they're sitting in inside a binder, so I'll just do that for now. I mean, I don't have much of a choice. So walking up, this is the bottom level of the old Sears B. Altman store here at Willow Grove. Now it's a store called Reelectric. If anybody knows what type of store that is, let me know in the comments, because I never ever heard of this store. I guess it's just recently opened. I know nothing about it. I don't know, kind of looks like a women's clothing store. I could be wrong. Just let me know in the comments. I mean, God forbid, I could probably Google it and figure it out myself. But I don't know. Like, my mind's like going a million miles an hour. So it is what it is. Well, that will be the end of this vlog of the Willow Grove Mall here in Pennsylvania. Thank you all for watching this vlog. Like, subscribe, and favor, and I will see you guys on the next one. Peace.